LeetCode 185, Department Top 3 Salary. A company's executives are interested in seeing who earns the most money in each of the company's departments. A high earner in a department is an employee who has a salary in the top 3 unique salaries for that department. Write a solution to find all the employees who are high earners in each of the departments. Return the results table in any order. The result format is in the following example. We're going to solve this hard LeetCode question in both SQL as well as Python Pandas, where I take you step by step. All right, let's start coding. All right, so let's take a look at this stuff. First thing we have over here is this example one where we have this employee table. It goes 1 through 7 different names, salaries, and then we have the department ID that's linked over here. And then we have this department table, which just only has 2 IDs, 1 and 2, IT and sales. It's definitely an incomplete company. Regardless, we have this output over here, and you can see IT has 4. We have 90,000, and we have 285,000. So is 70,000. And then sales only has 2 members, so we see 80,000 and 60,000. Explanation: Max earns the highest, both Randy and Joe earn the second highest, Will earns the third. Unique salaries, so we're talking about unique salaries there. Henry earns highest, then Sam earns second highest, and there's no third highest. So you have to think about what type of rank function you're going to specifically use in this example. And honestly, it's not really too difficult of a problem. We're just going to take a look at the dense rank. What this will allow us to do is go from like 1, then have 2, and then go into 3. So let's start solving that. The first thing that I want to do also is with these type of questions where it's like find the top 3, my preference is I always make a CTE at the top. So what I'll do first is I'll say with salary departments. And the reason why I do a CTE is because it makes it super easy to add a where clause outside the CTE just to filter down by like top 3 or anything like that. So what we're going to do is select, and we're going to say from employee. So from employee E, and then we're going to left join department. So left join department D on D.ID equals E.department ID. So department ID. Okay. Now that we have that, let's grab the data that we specifically need over here. So the first thing we need to do is we need to grab the department name over here. So that's just name in this department table. So that's d.name. And we're going to give this an alias. So at the very end, it's department. So just call it that. So we have department over here. Then what we need to do is grab the actual name of the person. So again, it's name. Maybe that's also part of the reason why it's hard. I don't think this is a hard question, but we put e.name over here. Then we're going to label this as employee, just like the final one has. Then we're just going to grab e.salary. So say e.salary. And here's where we're going to build out our rank. So set up a dense rank. So dense rank like this. Okay. We're going to say over like that. And then inside over here, we're going to say partition by department ID. So just throw your department ID over here. And we're going to say order by, and then we're going to put salary. And on here, you have to mention that it's descending. So that way we have the highest salary first. So just put DESC. And this is our CTE. You can technically just do select star from here, and you'll get all the results. Select star from salary departments, I should say. So put from, and you get all the results just like if you just grabbed that. But we're going to do a few other things in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to grab these 3 things: department. So grab department, then we're going to grab our employee. And then lastly, what we're going to do is grab our salary. And here's where we're going to start adding in the filter. So at the very end, we're just going to say where, and then we just grab our salary rank, which I didn't actually label this. So make sure you just put over here as salary ranks. So all I'll do is grab where salary ranks is less than 4. So that's going to grab something that's going to be rank number 1, rank number 2, and also rank number 3. That's why I like using the CTs, right? We can go over here and filter the ranking at the very end. That's how I approach these type of LeetCode or interview type questions. So if I just run this right now, it should be accepted unless I have an error somewhere. And it has been accepted. This was my exact solution I submitted. So once again, just to kind of explain this problem, what we're doing over here is we're building on a CTE. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab the information we need in the final output. So d.name, which is department, e.name, which is employee, e.salary, which is our salary. Then we're going to also have a dense rank because we want to have ties. So essentially like 1, 2, 2, 3 as the example. So we want to partition by department ID, so that way each department's a little bit different. And then we want to order by our salary. We want the highest salary first, lowest salary last, and we're going to call that salary ranks. Again, basic join. We're going to join on this department.id over here, and the employee table equals d.id in this department table. Then at the very end, select department employee salary. We already relabeled these, so super easy from the CTE that I established, and then where salary ranks is less than 4, so we grab 1 through 3. All right, let's take a look at the Python pandas. All right, Python pandas side of things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a merge data frame, kind of like how we set up the join in that CTE. So what we're going to do is merged df. We're going to say that's equal to pd.merge. Then inside over here, what we're going to do is merge our employee. So employee as well as our department. So department. We're just going to do a how equals left. So throw that in here, how equals left. And then we're going to say left on equals, we'll throw in our department ID. So department ID. And then on, we're going to say right on equals, and we're just going to grab our ID. So essentially our join in Python pandas. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to set up our ranking. So we'll just say merged df again. And this time we're going to define our column, which I'm going to keep it the same and say salary ranks. Salary ranks. Okay. And we're going to say that's equal to our merged df. We're going to group by. So group by. The first thing we're going to group by over here is our department ID. So I'm just going to copy and paste it, knowing that I would make a typo. Then we're going to put our salary next. So put our salary over here because that's what we're going to be taking a look at ranking. So group by, what are we grouping by, which is essentially our partition. And then what are we going to rank? I mean, you could use any type of function really, but in this case, we're going to rank it. So what we're going to do now is rank, and we're going to put our method in here. So method equals dense. We talked about the dense rank on the SQL side of things, but if you skip the SQL, the reason why we use dense is, let's say we want to have 2 that are tied in second place, like 1, 2, 2, 3. Use dense rank. So that's why we have dense over here. And then we're going to do ascending equals false. So ascending equals false. And that way we have the highest salary first. All right. That's very basic. Now what we're going to do is create a results df. So we're going to say results df equals, and we're going to have our merge df over here. I'm just going to copy this because we're going to use merge df a few times. So merge df, then we're going to look inside of merge df. We're going to grab this column over here, the salary ranks, which I guess I could have just copied that. But we're going to look at that being less than 4, which is essentially like our where clause within SQL. So we're going to grab any salary that's going to be 1, 2, or 3 based off of that. Then what we're going to do next is result df. We're going to say this one over here equals result df, and we're going to grab a few different columns. Now, sometimes what I'll do when I merge these data frames is I'll label them like at the very end of the things. So for example, over here, you're going to just see, I'll explain it better, but I have to go name X, and then I'll have to say name Y. But you can change these extensions if you really wanted to. Since we're not doing too much, I just kept this like this because I know X is going to be our department and then Y is going to be our employee. So feel free to do whatever you want on that side of things, but that's how I'm building this one out. Then we're going to grab our salary over here. Okay. And then lastly, I'm just going to rename these. So what we can do, which is a pretty cool shortcut, is result df.columns. And then you can say equals, and then over here, label them as you want. So first thing we want to have is department. So department over here. Then we want to have employee. So call employee next. We'll grab that over here. And then lastly, we want to grab our salary. So just put salary like that. All right. And then lastly, we're just going to return our data frame, return results df. So that will essentially grab here. And in some of my other videos, I just put essentially like this at the very end. I'm just kind of showing you a different way to do it, but this does look pretty clean. I'll just run this, make sure you have the correct results, and it has been accepted. So this was my exact solution. Very easy, hard question. I know that was technically a hard LeetCode question on paper, but I would classify it as a medium. Hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm uploading multiple videos every single week to this channel, not just LeetCode questions, but if you do want to study more LeetCode questions, I have a few down below in the description, as well as a full playlist right here.